7:30 a.m., 1039 FM, Jocks, Huntsville. This is the Off the Bench College Football Show. I'm your host, Kelsey Huffine, co-host Richie Jones, sitting to the left of me.
Good morning.
Pop's still out today. I thought he was going to be back today, and then halfway through the week, he decided that he was going to continue further starring in the new movie with Scoop Steve.
Co-hosting his own. What if we should do live from the boat, and so every segment he can just come up from diving and tell us, what he saw.
Well, he's going Hollywood on us, so don't know when we're going to see him back. I'm assuming next week, but now I just will have to say we'll see instead of he is going to be back, because I never know anymore. But that doesn't mean we can take a day off, because we can't. There's so much news, I should say, right now. In the news about college football and summer as a whole. It's 250 coming up next week with the 4th of July, which I have not decided if we're going to do a show yet. If the fans want it, we'll do it. We will not be on the radio side. It will just be YouTube and Facebook. But there's so much news trickling throughout. And then, of course, you have the World Cup going on. It's a fun time right now to really just be around, be alive. It's a fun time to be in the summer right now.
It is. I don't know if you call it a sport that I follow. The World Series of Poker is going on. They're about halfway through the summer, so we're about 2 weeks away from the main event that's going to be on ESPN. ESPN's announced that they're bringing it back live. I'm excited about that.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I'd ever be into poker, especially watching it. Maybe playing it's a different story, but who knows? But we're less than 2 months now away from kicking off the football in the fall.
To the most wonderful time of the year.
The most wonderful time of year, the start of the holiday season. Guys, if you want to get on the show here, you can do so. You can hit us up on YouTube at Off the Bench CFB Show and on Facebook at Off the Bench. Of course, we're live, iHeartRadio, and, of course, 7:30 a.m., 1039 FM, Jocks Huntsville. It may be the offseason, but the rivalries aren't taking a break, especially with, talking crap to each other. Auburn fans have gone to social media lately about the recruiting class of 2027 for Alabama. Now, it is a recruiting class that is mostly quality over quantity, where Auburn's is definitely opposite. And that's not saying that Auburn has a bad class. They have a good class. They've done very well recruiting under Alex Kellish already, especially for that 2027 class. But they're not pulling in the players Alabama is pulling in. Elijah Haven, for example. Elijah Haven's going to be the best quarterback of this class.
Right.
He's just signed a NIL deal with EA Sports. He's going to be in this 2027's EA Sports college football video game.
It's not a bad gig.
It's not a bad gig. I mean, he's, to imagine being in high school and saying, "Hey, I'm going to be in a video game."
Yeah, and not. Yeah.
Not only that, I'm gonna be
not like playing like a lot of these I guess I can say kids, right? They're they're playing video games on like YouTube and Twitch and whatnot. And no, I'm not playing a video game.
In it.
I'm like the video game that you're gonna sit down and play. You can play as me.
You can actively hop into the Road to Glory career mode and play as Elijah Haven.
I know.
Okay. So, and I've been lucky enough. I got to play this game. I got the early access to the beta.
Oh, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about this still, because they pretty much, you're in a no capture zone. You're told you can't record, you can't talk about it. What I will say about the game is it is incredible. Okay. It is a huge jumpstart from last year. They've added so much. The dynamic weather is insane. You start a game off and it's raining, and it's the second quarter, and you've got a field full of snow.
Oh, wow.
And the snow is good. Like you're seeing footsteps in the snow. It's amazing. I was so impressed by that. And they've already got Sacramento State and North Dakota State in the game. The stadiums aren't in the game, but they are with their rosters. I was impressed when I was playing it. But they didn't have real rosters in the beta, but they are going to have real rosters in the game.
I'm sad that I didn't. I'm just now finding out this. I would have loved to have, got a game.
I had access for like 48 hours.
Oh, okay.
And I wasn't even home for 24 of those.
Could have texted somebody? Okay.
I mean, it's fine. It was cool. It was incredible. I was really happy.
You said that Auburn fans are talking crap about I mean, they're only, what, 3 recruiting classes behind?
Give or take. I mean, so
when's the last time
thing with
Auburn had a top 10 recruiting class?
100%. Here's the thing with Auburn, though, okay? One, first of all, I want to talk about the Cam Coleman situation.
Okay.
If I was an Auburn fan, I would be absolutely livid, heartbroken, bent over backwards about how Cam Coleman left Auburn.
Great news is you're not an Auburn fan.
The great news is I'm not, okay? Hugh Freeze absolutely,
butchered
that situation completely. He was recruiting well. He could not get the offensive sync. Cam Coleman was the one bright spot of that whole thing. And now he's going to go play for Texas and be Arch Manning's number one. And don't forget, Arch Manning's a Heisman candidate, probably going to be a future number 1 overall pick. And you give a guy like him, Cam Coleman, who can go up and make those one-on-one plays, who can be physical. Not only that, he's going to get some yak yardage.
For the record, great job for Cam. Like, I hate that he didn't come to Alabama. It's another. I can be an honest Alabama fan and say we have a good product that we're putting on the field this year.
Right.
Do we have a top 12 product? We're about a game and a half away from that being a yes. Depends on how the Georgia or the LSU or maybe the Texas A&M game bounces, right? From being in the 12. But I can also sit there and look at Texas's roster and Texas schedule and go, yeah, that's probably the best team on the field. Because when it comes down to football, if we're just talking football, X's and O's, the Jimmies and the Joes, as they used to say, and as long as my Jimmies are better than Joes, I'm probably a better team, right? The quarterback is by far the most important, place on a football field. And as of right now, Texas has the best quarterback every time they step on the field. They will have the best quarterback by a substantial margin in most games. And then you give him a wide receiver that he can just put it in the same zip code, and the kid's going to go, okay, cool, that one's mine. Not really fair, but okay, cool. Can't be mad. Can't be mad at it. But I'm actually intrigued to see, can Stark and Texas finally do it? Can they finally put them over the hump? This is the year. If they don't do it, the front runner for the Heisman Trophy, far and away front runner for the Heisman Trophy, a O-line that is going to be able to block for him, wide receivers, plural, that can go and catch the ball for him. If he can't do it this year, one, he's not going to be able to do it next year in the NFL. And two, when is Texas going to be able to do it?
Well, I mean, I think this is Sark's year. If Sark does not get to at least the semifinal, I think you see him probably go to the NFL. I mean, what is left in Texas for Sarkisian? Or, I mean, barring Dallas, yes, barring maybe him coming back to Alabama, depending on DeBoer's year.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see that. And we always want to say that it's, the likelihood of that is actually, I think it's actually very slim, especially with Kalen DeBoer and the success that he's had at Alabama. And everybody wants to discount that success, but Greg Byrne doesn't care. Greg Byrne's going to hand him an extension because he cares about continuity.
Yeah.
Right. So
I don't know that that's a real word, but I knew exactly what you meant.
I think it may not be a real word, but it does mean something.
Yeah, I knew what you meant by it, so I'm gonna count it. I don't know that Scrabble is gonna give you the points for it, but
Carl hit this up on YouTube. Yeah, Archie Manning's name wasn't Manny. Would he be the best quarterback on the field if Archie Manning's name?
He's still physically the best quarterback on the field. I saw what he did against Michigan in that the bowl game.
I actually agree with Carl here. I thought Arch Manning coming into college was way overrated. He played in a small a small region in Louisiana.
Mhm,
Okay, this
okay.
wasn't 7A football. We're talking 3A football.
Yeah, okay, I give you that.
So Arch Manning was never playing at the highest level he could have. I never thought he deserved the ranking he had, but he had the Manning last name.
Besides Tiger Woods, name one player who's ever actually lived up to and LeBron James that actually lived up to, because when you hype him to that he's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread as a true freshman,
right?
Yeah, he's not. He's not going to be senior Peyton Manning as true freshman Archie. So yes, we overhyped the crap out of him because of his name, his first couple of years at Texas. And that's why he sat behind a what most people think was a less talented quarterback, but who had the team. Which I've always said. I mean, I've said it multiple times on this very radio program, that the quarterback who has the team, that the team's willing to get behind, is the best quarterback on your roster.
Well, and that's the whole ordeal with Alabama right now. Alabama's projected to have the highest ceiling maybe in all of college football, and that's Keelan Russell.
Right.
So they're referencing in that. They're not referencing Austin Mack, and that's not to take Austin Mack for granted. He's probably going to end up being the best backup quarterback in the country this year. But, Keelan just has that uncertain potential where they really don't know where it's going to go.
And ultimately, you've got to have, that's the one downfall, in my opinion, to the NIL and the transfer portal and everything, is the depth chart. That was one thing that Nick Saban was able to bring in a 3 and 4 star, set them behind a 5-star, let them go up against 5 stars in practice, and ultimately, look how great he is, his junior and senior year. With the NFL has 32 teams and 60 quarterbacks started last season. That means almost every team started a backup at some point, at some one game or another during the season.
Right.
If you're Alabama and the worst thing that happens to you is Keelan Russell is your backup, Austin Mack is your backup, it's not a bad thing.
No, and here's the deal. If any way this situation goes, and I don't think Keelan Russell will end up leaving if he has to sit as a backup for another year. I think he's waited too long. He's invested too much in Alabama to go somewhere else, especially with the new rules that are coming in place with, having you have a one-time transfer.
Unless you graduate.
Yeah. Unless you graduate, which honestly, it's going to change roster building a whole ton, right? You have a guy that's already transferred once and he's transferred into your program.
Yeah.
Well, he's not going to leave unless he's a graduate.
Yeah.
Okay. And you might not even need that graduate year, right? So it changes recruiting. It changes how you're going to look at your depth. I think you will have the opportunity to see depth like you once did just a couple of years ago before the transfer portal.
Yes. And your NIL is going to actually be able to say, okay, so you went to Kent State for your freshman year.
Right.
You transferred to Alabama. I know you're mine for 3 years.
Exactly.
So I'm no longer just throwing money at you for one season. I know I've got you for 3 years.
I think you will see NIL money uptick in this too.
I think, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it'll be more, the contracts may be, okay, instead of us just giving you $4 million,
right,
we're going to give you 15, but we're going to go to, 2 this year, 4 next year. You're going to see it jump.
Yeah.
Because now what I want to do is I want to bring you into my program. I know you can't go anywhere for 3 years except the NFL. So I'm going to backload the crap out of that contract to try to keep you from going to the NFL that last year. And now I've been able to, instead of it being 1 year, $4 million, and then you're going to go to the NFL or transfer to Texas or wherever. Now I can bring you in that sophomore year. I'm going to give you $3 million or $2 million. Next year, I'm going to give you $4 million, and I'm going to give you $6 or $8 million your senior year if you'll stay for your senior year. I think you're going to see a lot more of that. It kind of almost like a 3-year contract.
My whole point with this is we only got a couple minutes left in this segment, but my whole point with, I brought in the Alabama and Auburn, comparison here. Auburn has been absolutely dogging Alabama on social media with the 2027 class. And to be clear, Auburn fans need to back up a little bit. We are in 2026. This is next year's class. That is considered early now for the high school recruiting classes to start actually talking about them. People want to sit there and say, do we even need to talk about this? Is this even worth addressing? It's worth addressing, but here's the main issue with it. These players are going to flip recruiting. They are going to flip from each school. Alabama's been flipping players in this class. Heck, they have 4 commitments already this week. They're going to get another one today with Osani Gales, a wide receiver out of IMG Academy in Florida. Waiting for that decision at 2 p.m. Central today. But there has been just this uptick from Alabama recruiting this week. There's so much momentum behind the scenes that nobody is seeing, and DeBoer's just keeping his back pocket, right? And you're kind of trading off, what you're seeing in the public right now for what you can do in the private eye. And that's when the momentum is most dangerous, is in the private eye. Auburn, a lot of your guys are going to flip. They're going to decommit. That's just going to happen. That's how it is. These Alabama guys, they're going to do the same thing. Whether it's for or against Alabama, it's going to happen. But there's one thing I know for certain, because this is how Kalen DeBoer recruits. These 3 stars that are in the class right now, which are making this class look very low ranked, especially because there's not a lot of quantity in this class, they're going to jump to 4 and 5 stars. That's what happens under DeBoer. It happened for Keelan Russell. All of these guys that have committed over the last week, you will see them jump to a 4-star, if not a 5-star, by the end of this recruiting cycle.
You're telling me I took a junior in high school and gave him 3 stars, and then I'm going to give him a whole nother year in high school,
right?
And he's not going to change. He's going to stay a 3-star. I mean, this is kind of like the preseason polls. It gives us something to talk about. It gives Auburn fans a win for 3 weeks. That, oh, look, we're better at recruiting than Alabama. Okay.
I mean, please keep talking. That's what I would say, is keep talking the crap, because it's going to turn into regular season banter. It's going to follow throughout. Which, as a college football fan, I'm in love with it. Give me the banter. Come give me an Auburn fan talking some crap. I'll talk crap right back to him.
Yep.
It's how fun college football is. Okay. There's more crap I can talk this week too about Chaz Coleman in Tennessee, who has left the program. Tennessee losing another player. This time it is not NIL disputes. It's different. It's a little more personal. We're going to talk about it more later and how it affects Tennessee in the long run. It was homesickness. He had vertigo from a hip injury at Penn State. There was a lot of stuff, but we do have to take a quick break real quick. 7:30 a.m., 103.9 FM, JOX Huntsville. If you want to get in on the show today, you can. Just hit us up on YouTube at Off the Bench CFB Show, and on Facebook at Off the Bench. If you're on the radio side, you can just hop on over, and you can jump right back over to the radio side. It works. It's all fun and games here, right? But we are going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back. This is the Off the Bench College Football Show. 1039 FM, Jocks Huntsville. This is the Off the Bench College Football Show. I'm your host, Kelsey Alpine, co-host Richie Jones to the left of me.
Howdy.
And Pop's playing Scuba Steve today. It's okay. No fear. We're here.
I forget that the YouTube doesn't get to hear the same music I do in my ear, and I'm sitting here just jamming to the music, and I'm sure
it probably looks off because there's another music.
Yes, for YouTube.
Side.
Yeah,
it probably looks completely off. So
I probably look. I'm just completely. It's fine. That's par for the course for me. It's fine.
The biggest news that broke this week for college sports as a whole is the 5-5 rule broke ground. The NCAA is already getting sued for the 5-5 rule, which was the most common sense rule, I think, to put in the legislation of college athletics. Okay.
There's a lawsuit?
Yes. There was so much of confusion about the old rules. So the NCAA finally did away with it. So there's no more freshmen and then 4 seasons, or excuse me, red shirt and then 4 seasons to play. There's now 5 years to play collegiate athletics now.
And you get 5 whole seasons.
5 whole seasons. Okay. There's no more of the old rule. Okay. You start at 19.
No more of the 4 game, and now you can't play, or you got to, sit the bowl game, or
you start at 19. You end at
24.
So no more. It's risky to play these players. What Auburn did last year now sounds stupid because they were saving quarterbacks.
Yeah.
When just to redshirt them, which inevitably they transferred, and Hugh Freeze's decisions went out the window. It didn't matter, but they could have played Ashton Daniels, for example. He's starting at Florida State this year, likely. He was the guy that they protected, if I'm right.
More likely to happen, the NCAA gets sued or Hugh Freeze makes a terrible roster decision.
Right, exactly. I think you're a good 50-50 bet on that on Kalshi. So
can I bet both?
I think you can. You definitely can. So the biggest thing with this is Cincinnati, the entire basketball roster, including 15 players, have already sued the NCAA.
Yeah, you brought this up during the break, and I think both of us, of all the crazy rules that we've discussed over the offseason, I think the 5-for-5 rule is one that both of us 100% are behind.
Yes.
And then, so when you said that we were being sued, first of all, I wasn't surprised that the NCAA is getting sued for anything. Like, I'm surprised people haven't started suing because my team wasn't on TV as much as another team. And I probably shouldn't say that out loud because now Diego Pavia's lawyer is trying to write that up.
Don't tell teams that. Don't tell teams that played UCLA that.
Yeah,
or 60s.
Or during the NCAA basketball team, ours was on True TV and not CBS, so we didn't give as many eyeballs.
Is this a real thing?
I'm sure at some point. I'm sure everything's a real thing at some point. Remind me that question when we bring up the World Cup, because I've got a hilarious story about the World Cup I got to tell you. But so you said they're being sued, and I was like, why? Why are they? And then you said that they're not being grandfathered in. And I was like, oh, well, I completely understand why they're upset then, because I came into college under one set of rules, and everything that I was planning with my career as a collegiate athlete under one set of rules. And now all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's fun. This is now your last season. Because you said they were a class of 22, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if my math is correct, that would make this their last season. And if they were thinking, hey, we were going to get one more, then I'd be upset too.
I mean, yeah. I understand being upset. We're going to talk more about this in the next segment. This is 7:30 a.m., 1039 FM, Jocks Huntsville, the Off the Bench College Football Show. We'll be right back. 7:30 a.m., 103.9 FM, Jocks Huntsville. This is the Off the Bench College Football Show. I'm your host, Kelsey Alfine, co-host Richie Jones to the left of me.
Good morning.
So the new NCAA 5-5 rule is already turning heads. It's already getting brought up in court, normal things, right? We didn't expect anything else from the NCAA to not be in court. I mean, everything that they're going to try to put into, rules in college football or collegiate athletics as a whole is going to get not only brought up in court, it's going to be challenged. There's going to be all kinds of people in the room. So the biggest drawback of these Cincinnati players who are suing the NCAA because they were not grandfathered in that 2019, was 2022. Man, I forgot what year we were in. That'd be a long time. 2019 had no shot. 2022, more of an argument.
Well, no, 19, you got the COVID year, you got a gray shirt, you got a red shirt. You got
COVID year is what this is all residing from.
Exactly.
COVID killed the future of college football.
Yeah, well,
is what it is. But Ryan Downton, the lawyer that got another year of eligibility not Fernando Mendoza.
Wow.
Diego Pavia.
What a diss on Fernando Mendoza.
Fernando is
and our three person. Indiana listeners. We apologize for
Fernando
that.
is a true person. We love Fernando Mendoza over here. We just hope he takes it easy against Alabama next time, if there is a next time. Maybe he comes back in this. Maybe he's eligible. I think he was on his last year of eligibility.
He's like, I don't want to play for the Raiders. Going back to Indiana.
I don't blame him. But the Ryan Downton is, I can't speak this morning, guys. Ryan Downton is representing these players, which scares the NCAA a little bit.
Diego Pavia's former attorney.
Yes.
I guess maybe possibly still attorney. I don't know.
Everybody who is suing the NCAA is flocking to Ryan Downton because he got Diego Pavia that extra year of eligibility.
It's at some point in time, we got to have some adults in the room and put out the noise. And anything to do with Diego Pavia at this point is noise.
Right, it is.
In my humble opinion. It's the 5-for-5 makes sense. We don't need 32-year-old, offensive linemen going up against 19-year-olds. It's not fair. It's very similar to some of these other rulings and stuff that's come out about being able to have divisions of things to keep it fair. Now I won't go any deeper into it than that. We don't want a 16-year-old kid playing in 12U basketball.
Yes.
So there needs to be rules to keep it fair and fun and accessible to everyone.
I tried to do that one time, but it was baseball.
Oh, well, I mean,
I was being brought up to 18U and I was like 14. The other league was like 13U.
Yeah.
And I wanted to play with my former coach. And I mean, I wasn't scared of it going to 18U, but I knew if I played for my former coach, we'd compete that year. We'd actually be good.
Yeah.
And because we had just come off like, a game short of the championship game. And I didn't end up doing it, but I would have started the trend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, somebody's got to be that guy.
Exactly.
And there's got to be rules in place to keep sports fair, fun, accessible to everyone. It doesn't need to be, and that's one of the problems with the NIL. It doesn't need to be, the Major League Baseball has no cap.
Yeah.
And the Los Angeles Dodgers just go out and they're like, how much do you want to come play with us? Cool, here's a check. And then you have other teams, see the Florida Marlins, they're like, oh, we'll give you a coupon for a free fish sandwich if you'll come play for us.
I'm more blown back on you calling them the Florida Marlins.
It is
it's Miami.
Wow, but they called them the Florida Marlins.
When I was growing up, it was the Florida Marlins.
Yeah.
I think that was like one of my first, like when I was playing baseball, that was one of the first teams. We were at the baseball park, right? That was we were the Florida Marlins.
Yeah.
And we had the logo and everything, right? And then I think that same year they transitioned to Miami Marlins.
Yeah, I think they did. There's no. Okay, once again, I'm going to come back to FIFA for a second. When did we name it Turkey A?
Turkey A?
Did you not watch the USA versus Turkey A World Cup match? Apparently,
I did not.
Apparently, all my life, I'm 42 years old. All my life, my entire life, since August 19th, 83, it has just been Turkey. It's a country over there in the Middle East. It's just called Turkey. It's not the bird that we eat on Thanksgiving.
It's also spelled different.
Yeah, but it's just Turkey. It's what we've always called it.
Differently though over there.
Apparently, the president or the prime minister or whatever it is that they have, the head of Turkey, got with some of his buddies and was like, "Hey, I don't like that we're being called Turkey. It's not how it's spelled. It's not how it should be pronounced," and had a whole big thing with a rebrand of the country. Didn't know that was a thing. Didn't know your entire country could have a rebrand. Cool. Awesome.
Well, it's just like everywhere. I mean, Japan calls themselves something different. Germany calls themselves Germany is like Deutschland.
Deutschland, yeah.
Right. And in Mexico, they have a different name. I think they're not the United States of Mexico, but like something in that nature. They call themselves more like that. So it's a regional difference. I mean, they call each other different things. That's just how it is. So real quickly though, cutting from that topic, the players have also, the lawsuit was filed in Cincinnati in Hamilton County.
Okay.
Right. Okay. We've seen this trend, same thing with Swordsby. This was filed in Lubbock, right? Same thing.
Get a local judge that probably went to the school.
Exactly. DiBiaco down in Tuscaloosa. This was a little bit different though. So the players are asking for injunction relief for the upcoming season, the 2026-2027 season. The judge denied the temporary restraining order.
Mm-hmm.
Big news. It's big news. They learned from Swordsby. We didn't think it was going to happen. They learned from Swordsby. The Swordsby situation has turned college football on a dime.
Yes.
College basketball on a dime. The temporary restraining order was denied. Now, the preliminary injunction hearing is scheduled next.
Okay.
Will this fall on deaf ears? We are one step from having it fall on deaf ears.
Well, it depends on what date they also set because if they want to be jerks, they set the date of the preliminary hearing for like the day after the nets get cut in March Madness.
Well, that's true too.
And then they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll hear it. Here's the date of the court case."
I think there needs to be a little more clarity than that. Maybe a little more jumping for this. But so from the Cincinnati angle, right? Reporting this ties this to Cincinnati because MJ Collins and Kobe King are pending Cincinnati additions, and they're part of the lawsuit, right? So if the players win, Cincinnati could benefit roster-wise. This is not just 15 Cincinnati players, but Cincinnati is central to the story because the filing location and UC connected players. So then you add in the Ryan Downton. I think Ryan Downton's the wild card of this. Okay, they denied the temporary restraining order, which is good, especially good for college athletics. But with Ryan Downton, the success he had with Diego Pavia, it scares me that he is going to find something and they're going to grant this and get these players another year of eligibility. It's not that I do not want to see these kids in college athletics. Okay, they have played their time in college athletics. They have made their money the last couple of years. You have to find where the line is. You have to find the cutoff. There's no natural point for this cutoff. It is going to be unfair. It's a part of life. It's a part of being a college kid. You learn that things are unfair.
I disagree with you that there's no defined line. What you just say is that everyone coming in.
You have no natural place to put this line. Unless you say, okay, the cutoff this year, these athletes coming in next year, you can no longer do this. That's your defined line. Yeah. But
it's similar to the
right now. You won't get the court of public opinion is not going to be okay with that.
Yeah, I give you.
You want it to be. You have to have this cutoff already happen. And we want to get to the next phase in collegiate athletics where we don't see players suing the NCAA every 5 minutes.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Okay, you work for the radio station, right? And let's say I'm just going to throw out a stupid number. Okay, I don't know how much you actually what your salary or contract or whatever it is.
Okay,
but they put you under a contract, 4 years, $1 million a year.
Accepting.
Yeah.
It's more money than I'll ever see.
Where do I sign? And then all of a sudden, the radio station, the FCC changes the rules.
Yeah.
That hey, you can't pay but $200,000 a year. So you signed a contract and you started working for the radio station making $1 million a year. You got a 4-year contract. And then all of a sudden, the governing body over radio, the FCC, comes in and says the cap that you can play a radio host or any person associated with the radio is $200,000. You'd be mad too.
100%. I'd be mad, and I wouldn't understand it.
Right.
You know? Right. I think this is definitely different.
Okay.
And I understand because this is not a direct employment line. These players are not employed by, let's get this straight. Players are not employed by the college. They're not technically getting paid by the college. They're getting paid by millionaires who played or went to the school and want to see the school do good. They're getting paid by businesses, okay, that they do not work for. They're representing those businesses.
Correct.
I think it's different than a direct employment line.
Yes, but I'm just saying you would still be upset if somebody came in and changed the rules halfway through your contract.
100%. Yeah. I would. And I don't think it's completely fair, but I don't think you're going to find a fair.
Well, what you do is it's
a fair place to put this line at. Okay. I mean, you could put it for the upcoming year, but it won't win the court of public opinion because everybody in the public saying, you know, I will sit here right now and say it's not soon enough if they try to put the line at the end of this year and say these players that are coming in that are starting their collegiate career in this current recruiting class that is coming into the fall, same thing for the basketball players, that is the current line. I would say that that's too late. I think this needs to start early because it does. You have to move on from this obscurity of we don't know where the future of college athletics is at. You have to put that in place because we're all ready to move on. And it's not that we're going to stop watching our favorite sport. It's not that we're going to stop watching the best sport on TV. It's that
I 100% agree with you, by the way.
To put that in somewhere. You just have to do it.
I agree with you. I understand why they're upset. Yeah. I understand why they're filing the lawsuit.
Argument, yes.
And I appreciate the judge finally going, no more.
We're not doing this.
No more.
Especially in Cincinnati, because I had judged the scrutiny of, you know, we need to stop letting these players file this in the state or maybe file it on a state level rather than in the county you're in, whatever, right? So I applaud the judge here. I think this is great. Ryan Downton's definitely going to get involved in this. This is going to be a dirty case because I think that they're definitely going to do everything they have to get these players eligibility. It seems like the upcoming year.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll see what happens. Guys, there's a poll up on the screen right now. You can answer in the comment section. Do you like the new 5-and-5 rule? Yes or no? Is it going to be popular? How does Off the Bench feel about this rule? I'm for it. Richie, you're for it?
I'm for it. I think Wendy's should be the sponsor.
They should be. What was it's summertime. What was the remember you used to get like a little card, little key card, and you get a Wendy's Frosty?
Yes.
It was like $1.
Yeah, they still do that.
They still do that?
Yeah.
I gotta find.
And then during Halloween, you donate like $1 and you get a little coupon book so you can go and get them as well.
I didn't know that. It's summertime. We're gonna need some ice cream.
Yeah.
7:30 a.m. 103.9 FM. JOX Huntsville. This is the Off the Bench College Football Show. Guys, if you want to get in on the action here today, you can do so. Hit up YouTube in the comments section at Off the Bench CFB Show and on Facebook at Off the Bench. And if you're on the radio side, you can jump right back over there. 7:30 a.m. 103.9 FM. JOX Huntsville. This is the Off the Bench College Football Show. We'll be right back. Football Show. I'm your host, Kelsey Uffine. Co-host Rich Jones sitting to the left of me.
Howdy, howdy.
So the 5-5 rule is definitely it's encouraging to see the future of college athletics. Actually, we finally get a rule that I think really helps the direction. It, going along with the transfer portal and how that is changing as well. And they've introduced a 10-day window they're going to start looking at. Maybe we get that passed as well. You'll have 10 days in the transfer portal. I think that's it. And then you have the one-time transfer rule, and you can transfer once you graduate. It's going to help roster building. I think we're actually in an era of athletics that Nick Saban could continue coaching in if we get this all passed.
It's wonderful. We still need to fix the calendar. The calendar is still off.
Yeah.
We do not need to be playing playoff games in March. Like, I feel, I know I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I almost feel like, how far the playoff. Do you know what the midpoint of the college football season is this year?
January?
Close. Sadly, very close. So between week 0, the kickoff of the first game, and kickoff of the championship game, which I believe is January 20th or 24th this year, it's 24th, 25th, something like that, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
The midpoint is rivalry week.
Oh.
That is the actual mathematical midpoint of the college football season.
Kind of like that.
That means when Alabama and Auburn play each other in the Iron Bowl, as much time has passed since week 0.
It's like the second to last week of the regular season.
As will pass.
Or is that? No, that? Well, yeah, I think it is the second last week. No, is it the last week?
You get the Army-Navy game the following week. But yeah.
Well, yes, but it's the last week on the schedule for the regular season for Alabama and Auburn.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's, I mean, my days may be off by a couple of days or whatever, but it's like the week of rivalry week. I know, but that's ridiculous. I love college football. Do not get me wrong. I will sit and watch college football. I will stay up till 1 a.m. to watch Fresno and Hawaii play from Maui.
Yes.
I'm fine with that. I have no problem. I will wake up every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. to the greatest theme song. Well, used to be the greatest theme song until they redid it, and that's a whole nother
we'll
conversation.
Go back to, we'll play CBS over the speakers.
No. I'm talking about the original game day intro.
Oh, the original game day intro?
Yes. Yeah. That was the greatest intro in sports. The CBS Saturday
game intro
was awesome.
Legendary. We need to go back to it.
I'm glad we got rid of it and the chortle.
If we would just had I would have been okay with, I don't know who else would have done the game, but Vern with the CBS intro and only had Vern.
Yeah,
I could watch the CBS games and be totally fine with it.
There's a few people I wouldn't take.
Well, you know how Alabama fans feel about Gary, because I have a reciprocal feeling about Gary.
Yes,
and there's a 4-letter word when the TV comes on and Gary's on the screen and Gary starts talking about Alabama that comes out of my mouth. It's 4-letter word Gary. 4-4.
Yeah. Not to be confused with the 5-5, which we were
not to be confused with the 5-5.
4-4 is the Gary rule, and we don't appreciate Gary.
That's the new rule. When we talk about Gary, we're just gonna say the 4-4.
Yes, I love it. But we've got to fix the calendar.
Right.
With the recruiting and the transfer portal being open, we've got to move National Signing Day back to February, which is where it should have been all along. We're headed in the right direction. We've got a few good plans, but nothing's set in stone yet.
My fear with the calendar argument is that it's fallen on deaf ears because it has been around for so long these last couple of years and nobody's done anything about it. 7:30 a.m., 103.9 FM, JOX Huntsville. This is the Off the Bench College Football Show. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. We've gotten to a consistent 7 viewers.
Yeah.
I'll take it. No, I was talking with Brandon the other day. So Brandon used to be, he was CBS sports radio in Indianapolis for a couple of years, and he was also doing Purdue football radio for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So he would have like him and the head coach of Indiana or of Purdue were close at the time when he was there. I forget the guy's name, but Brandon was doing national TV commercials for CBS with the head coach with Purdue, head coach Purdue.
Nice.
Like in the stadium, walkthrough stuff like. I'll have to get Brandon to send me the video.
Nice.
Brandon is like. It's fucking crazy because at one moment you think Brandon's BSing, and then you realize, oh, he's just been around to know these people. He's just been in the right spot.
Yeah.
I mean, I met Trey Lewis through him. He knows fucking country artists. You know Dylan Marlowe, country music singer. You know Dylan Scott?
Not by name. Does not ring.
That big Scott song a couple years ago.
Hey, Alice, they're about 20 minutes away. She can't hear me. She's got her earbuds in. She's in her happy voice.
Dylan Scott.
Oh, yeah.
He knows him. A couple more.
I should recognize the name. I'm terrible with names.
Find out. He was telling me the basketball players who used to know.
Can he get us Masters tickets? I don't care what day. Just
I don't know about Masters.
dude, I wouldn't.
I don't know how much he's into golf. Although he's a big golf guy, he's got a big Alabama golf bag for Father's Day.
I'm fine with Thursday. I mean, I don't have to. It doesn't have to be Sunday. I just want to go to Augusta.
$7:30 a.m. 1039 FM 9 FM Jocks Huntsville. This is the Off the Bench College Football Show. I'm your host Kelsey F. and co-host Richie Jones.
Good morning.
To the left of me. All right, so I talked about earlier. I had gotten to play the new college football video game.
Still jealous.
It was fun. It was really fun. And the part I wanted to bring into this was the ratings that they have released for the players and the teams in the eSports college football video game, because there's a good representation of what EA thinks the games will be, thinks how good the teams is, thinks where college football is heading in a whole this year in 2027.
Okay.
For how good the teams are, how good the players are. So first off, the best team in the game to start the regular season, Oregon.
Huh?
Oregon.
Who?
Oregon. Dante Moore starting at quarterback. They feel strong about their defense, their offensive line. Oregon has received a 91 overall in the video game.
Who?
Mm-hmm.
Oregon. The Ducks.
Yeah, the Ducks.
Okay. Okay.
The second highest rated team is Ohio State at a 90.
Okay.
I think that's Jeremiah Smith, Julian Sane.
That one's fair.
Indiana at 90.
Okay.
All right. You have Notre Dame at 89.
Okay.
Texas at 89.
Seems low, but okay.
LSU at 88.
Seems high.
Miami at 88.
That seems fair.
Ole Miss at 88.
That seems fair.
Georgia 87.
That seems low. Very.
Oklahoma at 87.
That seems high.
No, you're probably still riding the coattails of John Mateer.
Yes.
So Alabama not listed inside the top 10. They're an 86 overall, 82 offense, 89 defense.
So you said Oklahoma was 10th at 87?
Yes.
So, I mean, we're, 11, 12, 13, somewhere in there?
Right. Yeah, right.
Okay. I by no means do I think I am smarter than the folks at EA Sports.
A lot of people think they are. I mean, you want to go talk about the reactions from Madden over the last couple of years.
Yes.
So a lot of people think there would be better rating than Madden in their scale. But I think
the fact that Texas is not number one.
Well, these teams are like they have redone the rating scale, obviously, because these teams are ranked really low with their overalls.
Yeah.
So I think they have really made it feel like that if you have an elite team in this game, your team is going to be elite. I don't think they feel any team across the country right now is going to be elite.
I can see. I can see. Yes, I agree with that point. I think you're going to have. Actually, no, I don't agree with that point. I think Texas, Georgia, Ohio State are going to be elite this year. I think they are going to just absolutely.
You left out the defending national champions.
I sure did because we've already talked about that. I think they're LSU 20. What year was it? Sorry, I'm sticking to that, and until they prove me wrong.
You're comparing them to the 2019 LSU Tigers.
Yes.
And then you're saying the drop off with 2020s.
Yeah, correct. And then 21, and then they fired. It's
fired
whatever.
Ed
Orgeron,
Kelly.
I am more than willing to sit here and let Indiana prove me incorrect in my assessment, but right. I believe, and with the great thing about the three teams that I said are elite. They play each other. Mm-hmm. Well, except for Georgia and Ohio State doesn't, but Texas plays both Ohio State and Georgia. Alabama gets to play a murderer's row of LSU and Ole Miss and Georgia and Tennessee and Texas A&M and insert other SEC schools here. I'm baffled by Oklahoma being in the top 10. I am. My gasts are flabbered by Oregon being number one. I am shocked LSU is that high. LSU has a huge ceiling.
LSU does have a huge ceiling. The problem with LSU is they're so new to being a team, not the brand.
Right.
The brand's not new. The team is new to being a team. Look, Lane Kiffin is a great coach. He understands how to coach in the modern day of college football. This weird transfer portal era we're in, that is what Lane Kiffin is good at.
Yes.
He has figured out how to manipulate the portal, get money, give that money to the recruits. He's figured out how to game the system.
Yes.
The problem is this team, 3/4 of it, has not played in a jersey or a helmet that says LSU on a side. They have not played for them yet. They haven't been on the same team. And this isn't Lane Kiffin took half of Ole Miss's roster. The Ole Miss roster, the main core of it stayed together.
Right, yes.
Okay? And they're still
none of
Ole
us
Miss.
Which none of us would have guessed.
No, we would not have guessed that, especially Pete Golding, who's a first-time head coach. He kept not only Trinidad Chambliss, but a Heisman candidate, Kawan Lacey, right beside him, right? So the Ole Miss team, for the most part, the core of it stayed together. But it's not like Lane just transplanted them, took those players, took the powder blue off the Ole Miss jerseys and put the gold of the LSU Tiger on there.
Right.
That's not what happened.
No.
He took 3/4 of this roster from around the country, handpicked his players, basically, gave them as much cash as they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's saying, okay, now we need to become a team.
Well,
and that's just not going to happen overnight. Okay. Sam Levitt has been fighting injury at quarterback. We don't even know. I think he's okay now, but he's going to have injury concerns throughout the season.
Yeah.
Okay. He got hurt and he quit on his team at Arizona State.
I will say this. If LSU makes the playoffs, they would have just as good of anybody else to win the daggum thing. Because at that point of the season, if they've pulled it together, the great thing about having a high ceiling is right now, all LSU has is blueprints. We've got to build the foundation. We've got to build the walls before you can put the ceiling up to see how high the ceiling really is. Mm-hmm. If they are to make it to the playoffs, very similar to what I said last year about Texas. I said, if Texas makes the playoffs, that means Archie really is that guy, and Texas really is that good. Texas is going to win the national championship. They fell short of making the playoff. If LSU sneaks in as that 10, 11 team, they have just as good of a chance of winning the national championship as any other of the 133 teams in the country, including Ohio State, Texas, Georgia, Oregon, Oklahoma, because that means they built it through the season. They were hot at the end of the season. They make the playoff. It would not shock me one bit to see Lane Kiffin hold up a trophy at LSU year one. That all being said, I highly doubt they're able to put all the pieces together in year one.
If Lane Kiffin, if you're telling me the headline in January is Lane Kiffin holds up a national title, that I would think you're insane.
Right.
If Lane Kiffin in his first season wins a national championship at LSU, I would call you insane. What happened? How did this happen? It should not have happened, because that's just not the nature of college sports. Because when that happens, it starts trends. When trends get started, everybody's looking for the next Lane Kiffin. I would even go as far to say Lane Kiffin is going to get a statue in Baton Rouge if he were to go in his first season and put up a national championship.
All right, we got a minute to look at their schedule, and I'm gonna go.
Their schedule is insane.
I'm gonna go absolute crazy.
You're starting Clemson.
Okay, I think they beat Clemson.
Okay.
Texas Tech, Louisiana Tech.
Yeah.
At Ole Miss. So they're 2-1.
Best
right?
game of the year.
I think they go to they host Texas A&M the following week.
Right.
What if they're 2-2 at that point?
There's not a
either way, Texas A&M or Clemson.
We want to romanticize that there's a panic if they're 2-2 at that point in the season.
Right.
I don't think that'll be the case. There was much money there's invested in.
Because I think we agree if they end the season 11-2, they're in.
Yes.
But 10-3 may not. So I could see 2-2 to start the season. There could be a panic.
Yeah.
McNeese, excuse me.
I was going to say, I thought it was McNeese.
Kentucky, Mississippi State, Auburn. They just rolled off 4. So they're 6-2.
I think they could have trouble with Kentucky.
Once again, we completely disagree with that. But
what is the one school that consistently gave Lane problems at Ole Miss? It was Kentucky. He lost at home against Kentucky.
They've always given LSU trouble. Yeah. Then they get to host Alabama.
That's going to be an insane game.
Then they host Texas the following week.
Another insane game.
And then they go to Neyland Stadium for Tennessee.
When was the last time you saw the Texas Longhorns play LSU in either of their stadiums? You can go to Memorial. You can go to you can go down to Death Valley. Either one.
That's a great question. And I can't wait to see
It's two huge brands. It's like Alabama, Texas playing.
Yeah.
It's huge brands that you're not used to seeing playing, but yet you got to accept that that's normal now because they're in the same conference.
That game, can you imagine ESPN 7:00 from Death Valley? Neck is playing.
Oh gosh.
Archie Manning rolls out on that is going to be, there is so many great, because if LSU does, okay, let's say they beat Clemson, but lose to Ole Miss because Ole Miss has that game circled. I as of right now, all bets are Ole Miss is going to win that game.
Right.
You could have this craziness where, okay, they lose to Alabama or whatever, and it comes down to hosting Texas in Death Valley.
So that you also got to remember that's also homecoming for Arch.
Yes.
He's from Louisiana.
There is so many little stories through one of the reasons why we love college football. There's so many little stories. Ohio State's going to get to play Indiana this year in the regular season. We get to see if Oregon can finally do something. Lord knows that they can. The Alabama-Auburn is always going to be an argument or a fight or a disagreement and talking crap about everything they possibly can. But then you have these, what if LSU is actually really good and then host Texas 3 weeks before the end of the season?
Let's throw up a wild card here.
Okay.
If I give you this headline in January, you're reading it. Okay? Here's the
beginning
headline.
of January or end of January?
End of January, you're reading this.
Okay.
Dabo Swinney pulls off a stunner after almost getting fired, wins the national championship with the Clemson Tigers.
I would think that I was in some sort of alternate reality because there's no chance of Clemson winning the national championship this year. They're not the fourth best team on their own schedule.
They're not. Clemson's got a tough road, and I cannot wait for Clemson to play Virginia Tech.
But you asked the question. I read that headline. That is the actual headline.
Right.
So we're assuming. I guess it doesn't matter whether they beat LSU at the beginning of the season or not. They win the ACC, which means they're better than Miami. They make the tournament and beat Ohio State and Texas and Georgia and apparently Oregon at some point. One, I would owe Mr. Dabo Swinney
an apology and a half.
A hell of an apology. The amount of crow that you will see me eating the following Saturday morning on this program is I'm gonna have to stop at Costco and get.
We'll get you a clown nose.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna need a clown nose, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
I guess I will need to personally handwrite Dabo Swinney an apology and mail it to him.
All right. So here's another headline you could read.
Okay.
Lincoln Riley, fired by USC, hires Lane Kiffin to be the next head coach of the Trojans.
This January? I need to speak with your doctor about whatever medicine he has you on. Okay, so if I read that headline, obviously USC did exactly what I think USC is going to do, and is going to be overrated and lose 3 ball games.
Right.
They don't make the playoffs. They're tired of the experiment that is Lincoln Riley, which that part wouldn't shock me at all.
I think Lincoln's a good coach. He's in the wrong conference to be a good coach.
I don't think he's really that good of a coach. But
you put him in the Big 12, I think he has them consistently in playoff range every year.
I think he's a
decent
coach. But they hire Lane Kiffin as their next head coach.
Offensive minds. Both offensive minds. Lincoln Riley's roster could probably compete at on the same level or even better with Lane Kiffin as head coach.
But you also got to think, at that point, what kid is going to follow Lane?
Yeah, but at the same time,
I think okay, I'll take your headline and twist it a bit.
But think about this.
They hire Nick Saban.
At USC?
At USC.
Scary. I don't want to see that happen.
2-year, $50 million contract.
No. Because if you put Saban anywhere, he's going to redo the recruiting. He's going to break some stuff up. There goes Alabama's true piece of weapon. I don't know. I would never see that happen. All right. I got one more headline for you, and then we're going to take a break.
Okay.
This one may be the most curiosity-seeking one. Coach Cignetti leaves Indiana, heads off to the state of Michigan after Whittingham retires.
Ooh. So they obviously don't have a great season at Indiana.
Right.
He sees something at Michigan that I think it would work. It's not as crazy as Lane going, because Lane going to USC at this point, I don't think works. Cignetti at Michigan at least would work.
Yeah.
I see Cignetti, even without a good season this year, I don't see him leaving Indiana. I think he's going to be the Whittingham at Utah, where he's just there for a million years, or Iowa. What's the head coach at Iowa that was there for
Franz?
Yeah. That he was just there
France.
He was there for like 70 million years or something. I see Cignetti doing that. I think start to the NFL,
Sarkisian
is a headline that we will read
one day
in
the near future.
I think once Archie's gone, he's gonna be like, "Hey, I've done everything I could. I'm taking my talents to Dallas."
All right. Well, here's one more headline I just thought of, though, and this might be the funniest of them all. Maybe the less realistic one.
Okay.
Coach James Franklin, in his first year at Virginia Tech, does the unthinkable, wins it all for Blacksburg.
Okay. I think he is a phenomenal head coach.
Right.
I think it may be underrated. Is as good as he is, he may still be underrated, which is saying a lot. I think Virginia Tech is a phenomenal football program. They have a history. They bring the passion that college football requires you to bring,
right.
With Enter Sandman and everything. So for them to pull off some miracle season where legit all they got to do is be better than Miami and they win the ACC, which wouldn't be okay. So I tell you, in December, Virginia Tech and Miami are playing for the ACC. Virginia Tech wins on a walk-off field goal. That's not the craziest thing in the world.
No.
I mean, so right now, Virginia Tech's the second. I'm telling you, Virginia Tech's the second best team in the ACC. So they win off a walk-off field goal. Both teams make the playoffs because Miami's been great all season. Miami beats Notre Dame. Everybody's darling. Both teams are in the playoff. It's not the craziest thing in the world. Would it take a lot, for them to pull off once they make it to the playoffs? Because the ACC is not going to prepare you for the college football playoff. The SEC and the Big Ten having to play four great teams back to back to back.
Miami would beg to differ. Miami made it to the national championship after half the country wrote them off in the middle of the year.
Yeah, but they were a really good team.
They were a good team. I mean, you have Carson Beck, who's been in college football for years. If he's not good, then I don't know what is good.
Yeah.
You had Malachi Tony, who's probably one of the best players in college football, returning. You had such a good run. And not to mention their running back core over there was good as well. They had a really strong running back core.
Let's be honest, nobody in the national media, no one outside of Blacksburg has said two words about Virginia Tech since they signed the contract with James Franklin.
Right.
They've been so quiet, under the radar, just, hey, we're just going to go play football.
I got one more headline on the other side we're going to discuss. 7:30 a.m., 103.9 FM, JOX Huntsville. This is the Off the Bench College Football Show. We'll be right back. 7:30 a.m., 1039 FM, Jocks Huntsville. This is the Off the Bench College Football Show. I'm your host, Kelsey Alpine, co-host Richie Jones, sitting to the left of me. Pop's still down there playing Scuba Steve, going Hollywood on us.
Hollywood.
Next rendition of Scuba Steve. They're having a spinoff, you know.
Yeah. Is it Disney Plus, Disney Plus original?
I don't even know who made Big Daddy, so I'm not sure. It's been 20 years since I've seen the movie. I said on the other before we took a break that I had another question, or really another headline for you. And this one seems like the most realistic, the most chaotic, and the experiment that's not going to work in any sort of universe. Deion Sanders leaves Colorado, heads to Florida State to coach at his alumni. In this universe, obviously Norvell gets fired.
Yeah, right. Which
issues.
Yeah, which wouldn't be the most shocking part of it. On that one, the most shocking part of it is Deion Sanders continues to coach.
He's cancer free now, which is the good news. And I think Deion, he's a solid coach, but he will never reach the pinnacle. He flirted with the playoff one time, and it wasn't even a great year.
So, okay, I'm going to ask you a straight up question.
Right.
Okay. How good of a coach is he?
I don't think he's that good. I think he is good at the portal. I think he can accelerate madness through the portal. He's a great recruiter.
Did he just maybe
but I think
raise two of the best football players at the time, and their best friend their best friend was an amazing football player. And
okay, here's the deal with that though. Travis Hunter can't find his place in the NFL. Travis Hunter's a lost prospect because he doesn't know which position to play, and he doesn't he's not absolutely incredible at one position. He's just not. He is a good wide receiver. He's a good corner. He can't specialize.
Right.
You can't make him play both because that's too many snaps in a football game consistently. You're not going to be able to play a 17-game season like that. Shedeur Sanders has just ended up in this situation of madness with the Cleveland Browns.
You talking about Pro Bowler Shedeur Sanders?
Pro Bowler Shedeur Sanders, who has...
There's a headline you didn't expect to read.
I don't even know how to put this. Because it's not nepotism, because Deion's not the coach at Cleveland.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word, it's a nepotism ploy to place him as a starting quarterback of the Browns. Is Dylan Gabriel not better than Shedeur?
Well, once again, like I said earlier in the program, the best quarterback is the quarterback the team gets behind.
Right.
If you were talking about the Madden, ratings and stuff, if one quarterback's a 98 and the other quarterback's a 92, you would think the 98's the better quarterback. But if the team is behind the 92 is your quarterback.
Yes, 100%. And I just, Florida State and Deion, obviously it makes too much sense not to ever happen. I'm not saying this will never happen. I just don't think that Deion is a good enough coach to coach at Florida State. He turned around a Colorado team that had struggled forever and infused a bunch of cash into the program because of his name.
Right.
And I say struggle forever. They were in a down spiral where they were at when they hired Deion. It was a good hire at the time. It was a splashy hire that got heads turning. He completely flipped the roster around. The only thing that was the same was the Colorado logo on the helmet.
Right.
That was the only thing that was the same in Colorado. He brought his Gucci bag in. He brought all that stuff in, his sunglasses, and it just hasn't worked to the level that a lot of people thought it would work at.
Well, once again, expectations are everything. If there was an expectation of Colorado being a decent football program again, they succeeded.
Right.
If the expectation was Deion Neon Primetime Sanders is walking through that door and we're going to hoist a trophy of any kind, then yes, there was a failure. That is the reason why you have these headlines that you brought up, these fake headlines that are, part okay, I can see that happening, and part a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Is all about expectations. The University of Alabama expects to play for a national championship, or at least compete for a national championship, at least 4 out of every 5 years. Georgia expects to compete.
I think the expectations when Deion got to Colorado were raised so emphatically that not only were they like, we're going to have a top 10 recruiting class every year, we're going to compete for a national title, we are going to make the college football playoff the first year Deion is there.
Right.
We're going to win this national title in the next couple of years. That's what's going to happen. And that's exactly the expectation Deion brought, was what the media was feeding. And that's what Deion's expectations was. The problem is, Deion's not a coach.
Right.
He had never been a coach.
He was a coach down in Florida.
Well, okay, fair enough. He was coaching at Jackson State in Mississippi.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Oh, Mississippi. I'm sorry. Yeah.
In Mississippi, he was coaching at Jackson State. Okay. He was a good coach at that level. I will give him that. He didn't go through the normal process.
Right.
Okay. Okay. You're a head coach down there. Okay. Your next step, head coach at a MAC school, head coach at a Sun Belt school.
Right.
That's a premier next steps. Or your next step is offensive coordinator. And for a name like him, or for a player like him, he gets elevated a little bit. But I think Colorado was just a little too high to elevate him to. You're talking about a Power 5 program.
Let me ask you something. Because you brought up a point there that the normal next step would have been a MAC.
Right. A MAC, a Sun Belt.
A Sun Belt. Is Colorado not just a fancy MAC team at this point?
They're a part of a Power 5.
I agree.
No. Power 4, however you want to put it.
I'm not disagreeing with that point whatsoever. Yeah. I'm just saying, so is Vanderbilt.
Yes, I understand that.
So is South Carolina.
But we've also
is Rutgers.
Okay, but okay. South Carolina, that's a large hit on South Carolina. The way they've performed, you better wait till October. All right, especially because Alabama and South Carolina got this night game action going on. I don't know what it's about. I get the return of Lenora Sellers. You still got Beamer ball over there. Just don't buy it yet. Vanderbilt, all it needed was a strap of cash. They're in one of the most prosperous cities in the country right now that is growing at an alarming rate. Nashville was bound to help a college football team someday.
Right.
Okay, and it happened to be Vanderbilt, the smartest college in the country that's not Harvard or Yale.
Right.
Okay, it just happened to go that way. They were a head coach away, a head coach that was successful with a New Mexico State program.
They had Franklin.
They did have Franklin, and you know how Franklin went.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's now at Virginia Tech.
Well, Franklin is only not there because of the scandal.
Yeah, right.
I think Franklin would have stayed at Vanderbilt a long while if it wasn't for that.
I'm just saying that Colorado is okay. Who's the best team in the MAC right now?
Best team in the MAC?
Yeah, or the Sun Belt. The
MAC's kind of struggling. It's this conference that is kind of just trying to do everything they can. They're bringing up programs that probably don't need to be in the Division I level.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that.
Best team of the Sun Belt's weird because of all the fluctuation that has happened. I don't know if I can name that yet at this point in the offseason.
I mean, okay. Are you telling me Colorado's really that much better than Kent State, Toledo, NIU, Central Michigan?
You put them on the same field.
Today.
Yes. Today, 100%. Yeah. I mean, they have Julian Lewis, a starting quarterback over Colorado. He's a former 5-star athlete.
Correct. Today, but 3 years ago.
3 years ago, it would be a contest.
Okay, so
now we got to wear a fine line here because those Maction fans they're pretty serious.
I'm just saying. I'm thinking Colorado is not that much of a bigger step than going to a MAC school. I'm putting Colorado a little further down than I'm putting the MAC.
What I'm saying is I wanted Deion Sanders to prove himself at a Tulane, a North Texas, like Dan Mullen is doing down in UNLV, who's trying to reinvent himself, right? I wanted him to prove himself at a smaller school before he actually jumped to that big stage. Now, I get it. That would not have lined up with his children, who he was coaching at the time, and that would have never happened.
Right.
Okay? It's just how it is. 7:30 a.m., 103.9 FM, JOX Huntsville. This is the Off the Bench College Football Show. Guys, YouTube side, we're going to end the stream. We're going to be back with you guys next Saturday, 9 to 11 a.m., right here, same place. Facebook as well. You're included in that. So we will see you guys next week. On the radio side, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.